Everybody, thanks for joining. We are just gonna go through a quick little bag and or carry-on bag review and or what I'm packing for EDC. Obviously, what I bring with me on my trip is going to vary from trip to trip and of course from you, but I'm going to be bringing a personal item, my CPAP machine, which doesn't count towards my items, and then one carry-on suitcase. So for the suitcase, I'm going with the Away bigger carry-on that's also expandable. Obviously check the airline regulations that you're flying with, but we have not had any issues thus far with the airlines we've flown on using this bag for both international and domestic travel. This is not sponsored in any way by either of the bags that I'm going to show you today. This is the Sky Blue Away bigger carry-on that is also expandable, so there's an expanding feature on the side here. One thing to note is if you expand the bag, it probably is not going to be carry-on regulation anymore, so it's more for if you go on a trip, you bring it as a carry-on, you buy things throughout your trip, and then you might have to check it in as a check-in bag, but then you can expand it. I've actually gotten away once or twice having it expanded and it's still fitting in the carry-on space, but that was in the overhead bin space, but that was on either ANA, Japan Airlines, and or when we were in business or first class where the bins were maybe potentially a little bit bigger. You would think they're all standard size, but I have had issues fitting this in on domestic travel flights. Only certain parts of the overhead bin space actually allows it, so just FYI. Like this style of content, please let me know and that I can actually make a more in-depth video on this. My carry-on suitcase that I've been using for the past few years. For my personal, like underneath the seat in front of me, I'm just using a TUMI tote bag, which comes with the hand carry handles here, as well as a extendable, over the body strap if you want to use it, but I'm not using that and or have not been using it currently, so it's just tucked in on the sides. It opens up nice and big, fits a lot of things in here. For me, I'm just bringing, for EDC, I've got my camera gear stuff, which is the DJI Osmo. I got my electronics bag, which houses my charging cables for at the bedside, sunglasses. I've just kind of got a overall pouch that I use for like my wallet, necessities like at the actual plane seat itself, because usually I'll just throw this under the seat in front of me. I'll keep this with me either on my persons or in the little pouch in front of me. I've got extra glasses in here, reading glasses, gum, hand sanitizer, things like that, something simple. I've got my iPad and I'll have my phone with me. I'll have my wallet with me, my watch. And then this is my little pashmina / blanket that I'll bring either for either the plane and or at the festival itself. If it gets cold in the nighttime desert, you can use this both to protect yourself from dust as well as a little bit of warmth. So that's just something small and easy that I'll be keeping here inside of my personal item, I guess you would call it. Again, double check your airline regulations, make sure you are compliant depending on if you are basic economy versus economy, things like that. Those are things to note. Sometimes you're not allowed to bring a personal item or carry on even at all, so make sure you guys keep that in mind. But again, this is just the TUMI simple tote. It has a pass-through on the bottom here, so that way you can stick it on the back of your suitcase. Rolling it through the airport makes it nice and easy. And then back again to the Away suitcase, let's get into that. Starting with an empty suitcase. I lied, there's a little bit of stuff in here already, but those are leftover things from previous trips. But inside the bag itself, let me get this on camera. You have a big main compartment that is just closed in like that. And then what makes this bag, I guess, not as unique as it used to be, but it was one of the first bags around COVID time that had come out where they had this compression system that works pretty great actually. So you put all your clothes, loose fitting items in here. Once you're done, you fold this over, you click it into place and you can tie it down, and then it kind of helps compress your clothes a little bit. So can definitely come in handy when you're trying to pack some things or maybe on the fluffier side, things like that. But again, empty suitcase from Away. At the bottom here, there's even a laundry bag or little bag that you can throw dirty clothes in and keep everything separate. So just FYI, that's in there at the bottom. People sometimes forget about that. It may be hard to see, but it's there. Again, this is the bigger carry-on. There is options that come with like the smart battery, things like that, but I actually returned the battery option one because one, I use my own battery pack. Two, the battery pack option actually takes away a little bit of space in here on this side. So if you're trying to maximize the space inside the bag itself, you're gonna want to go with the bigger carry-on, whether it's the Flex option or the expandable option. Again, it's all about you and what you need your bag for. But again, double check your airline compliancy, places that you're going, things like that. All right, let's pack with everything I got in here. I already kind of folded up everything. These are all my outfits for EDC. Just gonna pop that in here nice and neatly as possible. All right, now let's compress it all down, buckle it in. Don't over tighten it. This is only made out of plastic, this little rim here, so just be mindful. You don't want to over tighten it and crack that, but it definitely does help compress it down enough. On the other side, I'm gonna pack my Hydro Pack, which I already did a YouTube review on that. So if you have any interest in the Lunchbox Hydration Pack 2-liter bladder, go and check out that video later. But this is already pretty much packed, has all of my necessities for EDC in here. So I'm just gonna pack that in over here on this side. This one got to shove in just a little bit, but should fit just fine. We've taken this backpack and this specific carry-on suitcase with us to several music festivals already. Got some saline sinus rinses. I get sinus infections pretty easily, so I'm bringing that along since there's a lot of dust out there. Some massage balls for your feet, hamstrings, legs. This is such an underrated and not really talked about, but the amount of walking that apparently happens at EDC and or music festivals in general, if you're getting up there in age with us and you're 30s plus, this is a game changer. Remember that anything lithium-ion batteries cannot go in a check-in bag. It must come with you in a carry-on. So being that this is all carry-on, I'm gonna pack my battery bank slash fan inside here. Got my toiletry bag and an extra hat. I think, is that about it? I think so. What a game of Tetris. I don't know. It's just gonna have to sit in here best it can. All right, and that's about it. Once this is all zipped up, I'll just throw in my last minute toiletries if needed, you know, before we actually leave. But that is essentially what I'm bringing with me to EDC for the 30th anniversary this year. Brett's suitcase is identical to this, only his is the coast color and non-expandable form. Mine just happens to be the one that is expandable, which there's an extra zipper for that. It expands about another 1.5 inches wide. So it's not the biggest amount of increase of, you know, items that you can put in here, but you know, if you end up buying like a jacket or a sweater last minute and or you don't mind checking in your suitcase in on your way home, it can definitely be a lifesaver in the event, you know, instead of buying a whole other suitcase. Holds quite a bit, even though it's carry-on size only. It's very lightweight, it's durable. The wheels are the I forget what brand exactly, but they're these Japanese Himomoto, I think is the name, but they glide really, really easily. And again, the customer service is lifetime, or sorry, the warranty on this is lifetime with away. At least the last I was aware that it was. So if anything happens to your handle, the zippers, the wheels, they typically will replace or at least fix it for you, typically for free or very small fee. So check out Away Luggage when you guys get the chance. Again, it's not sponsored by any means, but it's something that I've been using for the last at least 5+ years, and it's held up great. Thanks again so much for watching. If you guys have any other recommendations on videos or reviews or things you want to see, please let me know down in the comments below. Thanks so much.